Hi, got your plan open in Suite 2018. And I thought I'd show you some things, some quick things you can do. Uh, I'm a little vexed because your verbal description of the house, it's hard for me to visualize what your house may, the exterior of it, and roof design might actually look like. But you've got, I think, auto rebuild roofs on. Let me check that. Build roof. Yeah, auto rebuild roofs is on. So I'm just going to click on this wall and open it, and we'll change it, go to the roof tab, and tell it to have a full gable wall on it. And I'm just going to show you these changes as I make them. So now there's a gable roof over here, and the gable roof is 812 because that's what the pitch is set to in the build roof dialog. Okay, so let's go over here to the build roof dialog. Go build roof, and we'll change that to 12, and it should change it automatically to 12. Yeah, changed it to 12. It tried to make all the roofs. See, that setting makes all the roofs 1212. Now the porch is 1212, and this over here is 1212. Now, you said this is a gable roof over here, so let's tell it to be a gable. And it's going to put a 1212 gable over that, like that. 1212, 1212. Now, if you want this, I don't know what that means. If we want a 312 gable on this end, I'd like to tell this wall what kind of pitch we want over it by going to the roof tab and telling it to not be 1212, to be 312. And I can't, if I tell this entire wall to be 312, it'll undo, well, I'll just show you. And we'll go ahead and change that to 3. It's going to change it across the entirety of that wall. So now we have 312 on this end, which is what you say you have. But on this end, now we have a 312, 1212, which is not what we want. So I'm going to have to go back here and let's see. I think it would probably match this front wall here. I'm just guessing. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to move this window out of the way, at least temporarily, until I get the roofs built. And we'll put a break there, collinear with the front porch. So that, now this wall, I can tell it, this wall segment, I can have it, tell it to have a 1212 over it instead of a 312. And we'll go back to the overview camera. And now we have, oops, now we have 1212 on both ends. See, it's ignoring this command and following this command. I mean, this software is a mechanical device. It's not towering in. Let's see, that's supposed to be 312, and this should be 312. Yeah, and it's just not following my orders, the software, and that's because Suite basically can't follow my orders because it's not that smart. Now, be that as it may, let's tell the pitch over the porch. Now what I'm going to do, I think might help, I'm going to draw, in order to help separate the porch, let's name it porch, by the way, while we're here. And most porches, unless they're really old, are don't have a wood floor. They have a let's go to Structure tab. And, oh, ceiling, okay. You can't even do that in Suite. Never mind. Floor, no. Floor structure. Oh yeah, it's going to have concrete. And porches normally are slightly lower than the main house for drainage purposes, so I'm going to lower the floor about 3 inches. It's pretty common. We'll go back to the overview and you'll see that it looks more like a porch, and then it's slightly lower than the inside of the house, so that if you get a frog strangling rain, water doesn't run in your house. Okay, let's move on. This roof plane here, I'm going to click on the wall and go to the roof tab and tell it I want a 112, very flat roof over this. But as you'll see, Suite takes that to mean it goes now 112 here, and it's a little sliver of 312, and it's a mess. To make this a gable, a shed roof, you want to take this one and order the sides to the full gable, and this. Oh, can't shift select in Suite. Sorry, never mind. So we want full gable, and this little segment here set the same way at full gable. Just to fill in the sides of the shed roof. And now we have more of a shed roof looking thing here, but it's a mess. Now, I might be able, if I can separate the porch from the rest of the house, I might be able to pull this off a little bit better. Let me try that. Go over to the wall tools and select a wall room divider wall. I'm going to just draw an invisible wall across there and disconnect this wall here from the rest of the house. So the porch is totally separate from the house. Now I'm going to drag this invisible wall over as close as possible to this wall without connecting it, and see what that did. Well, it didn't do much. I think it more confused the software than it helped. Anyway, this is kind of what I was talking about. Some of the more advanced Suite architectural and interiors users might be able to do a little bit better. But what I'm going to do, go ahead and save that. I'm going to close Suite and open it in Home Designer Pro to illustrate what I'm talking about. We'll go over here to my programs and open Home Designer Pro. We'll open that same file in Home Designer Pro, and just to illustrate the differences between the two programs. I mean, Home Designer Pro is more expensive, but it also does more. I think, let me make sure I'm opening the right one. Yeah, that's the one. Oh yeah, when I was making this video earlier, I had a crash, and so I don't want the autosave file. Okay, and I'm going to turn the grid off and turn the show sheet off and get an overview to see where we are at with this model. Okay, we're right back to where we were. Okay, well let me just start out by, we'll take this roof here. See, I can, in Home Designer Pro, I can just click on it, open it, and alter it. I'm going to set the pitch to 1 at that same height. And then this roof plane I'm going to delete. This one here I'm going to reshape. And we'll change its pitch to 12. 12. So I change this one to 1, this one to 12. Delete that little plane there. And this one here I'm going to delete. And this one here I'm going to set to 1212 per your instructions. Now I'm going to reshape these in plan view. I think let's just go Shift F6. The tile the screens, and you can kind of watch this develop. I'm going to work on the plan view screen. And we'll take this roof plane here and going to reshape it using the break line tool to make it into a gable roof. Make that edge straight, and we'll take this edge and parallel perpendicular that one up to this wall, and move that over here just about there. And then the other side, let's see, where is that roof plane? There it is. And I'm going to reshape this one into a gable kind of a configuration by making it into a rectangle instead of a triangle. Click on that edge and parallel perpendicular it up, and then just snap that to this edge, and then connect the ridges using the Join Roofs tool, which you don't have in Suite. And now we have a 12-12 gable here because I told it to. Now let's go to the camera side, rotate it around. So we got nothing on this end. Now I'm going to click on the Build Roof dialog on this one. And, well, what's going on here? Okay, I just had trouble selecting that. We'll draw a manual roof plane over here and have it slant in that direction. It should appear, yeah, there it goes. And I want it to be 312, as you said. And then I'm going to take this porch roof and make it into a rectangle. Reshape that. I want to make sure this upper edge is parallel perpendicular to this wall. Okay, and then I'm going to draw another manual roof plane right here. And set its pitch to 312. And then connect the ridge. We'll set the overhang. I'm not paying much attention because I don't know what your house looks like, so I'm just getting things to match. Okay, so now I have a 312 here. I'm going to reconnect that ridge and see if I can't get rid of that automatic attic wall. Okay, I'm just going to delete that. It makes it hard to see what I'm doing. I'm going to take this edge and drag it over here to the edge of the porch wall and make the rear roof plane match so that we get a match over there. Okay, now no software, whether it's Suite, Architectural, Interiors, or Pro, is going to automatically draw this wall in. And I have to probably, for setup purposes, I have to reshape this porch roof a little bit to facilitate that. See, right now the porch roof goes over this wall, and so it's chopping it off. I don't want it chopped off, so I'm going to put a break line right here on the outside and drag this over that wall like that. So I'm trying to see where that edge is. This edge. Okay, they need to match. Just trust me, they do. Okay, now I'm going to go up to the attic level with a floor toggle and turn on the reference display so I can see the first floor. And I can see these two roof lines here. The edges, this line is the edge of this roof, I believe, and this is the edge of this roof over here. And I've got some invisible walls in here. I mean, automatically generated walls. They're going to mess up my plans. So I'm going to go over to 3D view defaults and temporarily turn off auto rebuild walls, floors, and ceiling. Just temporarily. Normally you would want that on. And then now I can delete this wall, and the software won't automatically put that wall back. Get rid of that. Just want that. Okay. Let's see. How can I handle that? Let me go to 3D defaults. See if I missed a setting. No, it's just the software being automatically the software. I would like to just remove that and not have it sitting there. Alright, let's go ahead and skip that. I'm going to check and see what my exterior wall's set to. That's fine. I guess it's fine. No, not siding 6. I want siding 4. And now I'm going to draw a siding 4 wall right here. And this error message is just saying that I drew a wall on the attic wall. So I don't care. It's just the software being the software. Busybody, it's busybody mechanical self. Now I'm going to take those 3 walls and tell them to be attic walls and no room defined and no locate. If you're curious about that, look it up in the reference manual. And now we're beginning to okay, there's that wall that I drew. And unlike Suite, I can click on these walls and reshape them in a camera view. Now, it doesn't look like that wall is exactly where I need it to be. Move this over a little bit. If I could make these interceding invisible walls just disappear, I would. That's the reason I turned that stuff off earlier. Okay, that looks a little bit better. It's underneath the overhang of the roof. And we'll drag that wall polyline over to fill in that gap. And it fills it in somewhat. This, I'm just going to make it invisible, because it's just messing things up. You can delete it again. Now, the software just automatically puts those there, and it's kind of maddening sometimes, but it's just the way it works. Okay. And these white artifacts are caused by a default setting that's non-optimum. You go over here to the structure. Of course, none of this you can do in Suite, so I just want to make that look a little better, so I'm going to make the rafters skinnier. That should get rid of that white artifact, or well, maybe a little bit. Okay, now the only thing left with your design, based on what I think your house looks like, now this looks really odd to me, but if that's the way your house looks, if you got a 312 and a 1212 and a 112, the only thing that's really left is this front porch doesn't tie together very well. And what I'm going to do to remedy that, I'm going to go back to plan view and turn the reference display off. Go back to the first floor. I'm just going to manually set this roof over the center of that wall, and the shed roof I'm going to put over the center of that wall. Let it just snap to the edge. Yeah. So that they're collinear, but one's higher than the other. Now, this one I can find out its fascia top height, 117 1/4. I'm going to copy that and open the porch roof, and without wanting the pitch to change, I'm going to lock the pitch and put its ridge to match the adjacent roof. You'll see that'll drop down. And I'm going to go back over to 3D view defaults and turn auto rebuild walls, floors, and ceilings on. So see how that automatically cleaned up that. And now it's a smooth transition, porch roof to 312 gable. And now, if that's what your house looks like, I'm sorry for you, but it probably doesn't look like this. But it looks like this based on your description of it. And excuse me, I'm just trying to help you out and showing you the difference between Suite and Pro, and that upgrading to architectural would be a waste of your money. Like I say, some of the more advanced Suite, architectural, and interiors users might be able to come up for some solutions to some of the shortfalls that I ran into and just kind of glossed over. Oh, I need to take this roof and move it over, don't I? That looks better. Then here in the back. Yeah, that looks a little bit more finished looking. But from your description, that's what I think your house looks like. I doubt that it looks like that, but that's the reason I want to see the photos of your house. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this helps you out one way or another.